Joining us tonight, Congressman Sean Duffy, member of the House Financial Services Committee. Great to have you here.
Good to see you, Lou. Thanks for having me on.
That is wonderful to see Steve Scalise back and walking with crutches. I mean, that's remarkable.
It was fantastic. It was heart-touching. It was something that unified both Republicans and Democrats, welcoming him back to the chamber. And I thought it was great that he pointed out the influence of God in his life and his recovery. And all the people that reached out to him, Republican and Democrat, world leaders, local leaders. It was a cool moment for the House.
You know, he looks like leadership material to me.
Absolutely. And you know what? I mean, this was nip and tuck for him. I mean, this was no easy recovery.
So seriously wounded, shot through the pelvis, which one of the most difficult things from which to recover.
And that bullet shattered and did a lot of damage when it hit. So thank God he's back, and we're looking forward to having his leadership back in the House. It'll be good.
Well, the majority leader he looks like he's primed and ready. So, and a lot to do. The president launching the tax reform or tax cut initiative. There appears usually for you guys to be considerable coordination from Capitol Hill to the White House to the Republican National Committee. Yeah. This time it looks different. Is it?
So if you look what happened in healthcare and what a disaster that was, we've learned our lessons. So instead of the House jumping out ahead of everybody else, like we did in healthcare, the plan was, let's set up a framework. Let's get everybody to agree. The president, the Senate, and the House all agreeing to what this framework should look like. And now we have to fill in, some of the gaps. But everyone agrees to that framework, Lou, which is a great starting point to actually get tax reform done. It's going to be historic.
And the president now says the cap on corporate taxes is 20%. Right. A lot of debate and dissension within small business in this country about whether or not they should be lagging behind and have a 25% pass-through rate. These are important issues, as you well know. How are they going to be resolved?
You know what? I don't know that issue of that 20 to 25% disparity will be resolved. You have a situation where we're dealing, and you know this well, and you report on it, is the Senate rules. And this has to be revenue neutral. And trying to find revenue to lower rates becomes somewhat challenging. And I think we've found, the right sweet spot to make this work. And so that's not going to change.
How about doing what the president said? What Gary Cohn implied is that there's going to be significant growth above 3%. So
that's part of it.
So let's suspend the Senate rules and Mitch McConnell's drag on the party and let her rip.
If I was a senator, I would vote to suspend the rules. Or just, you don't even have to blow up the whole filibuster rule. Just change the rules in regard to budget reconciliation and allow this to work. But I think the plan is smart. And what I got to tell you, Democrats have been pretty crafty in saying this is a tax raise for low income and a tax break for the wealthy, because it looks like you're taking the 10% rate and bringing it to 12,
right, and
taking the 39% rate and bringing it down to 35. Really, if you're at 10%, it goes to 0. And if you're at 15%, it goes to 10. So contrary to what Gary Cohn said, this is going to be a tax break for all Americans. We're going to simplify the code. You increase the standard deduction from $12,000 to $24,000 a year. It's going to be good for middle-class Americans.
I hope it's good for all Americans, and I hope you guys get it done. It's going to be a test, once again, because of primarily the Senate. And Mitch McConnell has made 2 spectacular failures and a mess of the agenda.
I would argue there's one group that probably isn't going to see much of a tax break, and that's wealthier Americans. And that was President Trump, who said, you know what, they've done well under this economy. We're helping them out. You're seeing a growing stock market. So I'm going to focus all the revenue into the middle class, and that's what he's done. Yeah.
And I think everyone who's doing well in this country is applauding the president right now.
Absolutely.
And if not, they're being very short-sighted, and I think we'll come around to glory in the weeks ahead.
Well, when this thing keeps growing and people are going back to work with better wages, they're just going to sit back and applaud the president for having the bold vision on tax reform and economic growth.
Speaking of the president's leadership on the NFL, we've got a Packer game, and I know you don't pay any attention to the Packers.
As a Wisconsin guy, I don't, right.
Talking about the team, and we don't know, but talking about the team's going to link arms. And why can't these players, why can't the NFL understand respect the country that you live in and owe so much to.
Lou, this is the country, this is the anthem and the flag that brought you the Civil War, that brought you civil rights. It brought you women's right to vote. This is not perfect, but the greatest country that's ever existed on the face of the earth. And we should all stand and salute our flag and stand for the national anthem. So the Green Bay Packers made a request. They said, we're going to lock arms together as Packers, but we want all of you in the stands to link arms and stand with us. What they're really asking for, Lou, is that the fans link arms supporting them as they're supporting the people who are kneeling against our flag and our national anthem. So I hope tonight that our Packer fans in Lambeau Field, they don't link arms. They put their left arm to their side and they put their right hand over their heart and they sing the national anthem. But no linking arms, no protest. Let's stand strong for America. And Lou, tonight the Packers are favored to beat the Bears. But I think most Americans sit in favor and rally on behalf of their country more so than their NFL football team.
Yeah, I think that the importance of every game in the NFL has diminished for a lot of fans.
I'm turning my TV off.
Yeah, well, mine will definitely be off. I tried to talk my wife into letting me peek in just to see whether or not how they behave. But she said no.
She said, "Lee, you can't. You married a good woman then."
So we're holding steady at that. Congressman Sean Duffy, always great to see you.
Thanks for having me on.
Best to your wife.